Hello students, a very good morning. So for today, let's discuss the MCQ questions now. As in yesterday class, we have revised our topics. So let's discuss this one by one. So first question here on electromagnetic induction is, whenever a magnetic flux linked with an electric current changes, an EMF is induced in the circuit. This is called. So here, as you know, this is the statement of law of electromagnetic induction or Faraday laws. So whether in your option, four options are given here: electromagnetic induction, Lenz's law, hysteresis laws, and Kirchhoff's law. So as you know, Lenz's law is for the Faraday's second law, that is giving the direction. It is not providing us information how to produce the electric field using magnetic field. So that is provided by the electromagnetic induction concept or Faraday's first law. The second question here, in electromagnetic induction, the induced charge is independent of. Options are given: change of flux, time, resistance of the coil, none of these. So as you know, whenever the flux will change, then that time induced EMF will be there. So if the production of EMF will be here, and then third option you will see, that is the resistance of coil. So if there will be the presence of resistance of coil, then obviously there will be the flow of current. By using Ohm's law you can understand, and this is now the induced current. So it means that for induced current it always needed induced EMF and as well as here the current in the coil. So it means it will not be independent of these two factors. This is depending on these two. But the third term, that is time. So on the time it is not depending on. So here it means that the current in the induced current is independent of the time here. So our B option is correct here. Third here question, an induced EMF is produced whenever a magnet is plugged into a coil. So the strength of the induced EMF is independent of now. So if any of the induced EMF that is produced, if magnet is plugged into the coil, means we are moving the magnet into through the coil. Then as in yesterday class I have told you, whenever the magnet that will move, then due to the movement of that magnet, obviously magnetic flux will change and there will be the change in magnetic field also. So here it is, we have to find out the strength of induced EMF is independent of which of the factors. So number of factors are given. First option is the strength of the magnet, second is number of turns of coil, third is the resistivity of wire of the coil, and fourth one is speed with which the magnet is moved. So it means here the first option you will see, if strength of magnet you know that will change, then the related flux will change, and definitely that time induced EMF will change. So it is depending on magnet's strength. Second one, number of turns of coil, obviously number of turns will change, then that time phi will again change. As this equation I have told you, NPA cos of theta. So from here, as number of coil, if magnetic field, all these will change, then that time flux will change and induced EMF will change automatically. So it means it is depending on also number of turns in coil. Third one, here the resistivity of wire of the coil. So as you know, the resistivity changes current produced in the coil. It is not changing any kind, or it is not providing any kind of change in induced EMF, because induced EMF you can see that is depending on this factor and this factor, only on this one, not any on other factors. So that means our third option is correct. The fourth option you will see speed with which magnet is moved. So yes, on speed it is also depending on, because due to the speed of the movement, the magnetic flux linked with the coil, that will suddenly change and flux will change, and due to that one obviously there will be the change in the induced EMF. Now next question, after this one let's see, according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, options are given. First, electric field is produced by time varying magnetic field. Second, magnetic field is produced by the time varying electric field. Third, magnetic field is associated with a moving charge. Fourth one, none of these. So you know, Faraday concept is the production of electricity by using magnetic field. So it is the vice versa process of production of magnetic field by electric field. So our first option is correct. Fourth one here, fifth question is, a moving conductor coil produces an induced EMF This is in accordance with first Lenz law, second Faraday law, third is Coulomb law, fourth is Ampere's law. So you know, if a moving conductor that is producing induced EMF means due to movement of conductor, the magnetic field lines that will change and field will change. So it means B will change, and due to that phi change and E will automatically produce there. So it is Faraday law, again it is not Lenz law. Next one concept, a coil of insulated wire is connected to a battery. If it is taken to galvanometer, its pointer is deflected because, so here it is given there is a coil that of insulated wire, its wires is connected to the battery, and if this is taken to the galvanometer, then its pointer starts to deflect. So what is the reason? So reasons are given, the induced current is produced, the coil act like a magnet, the number of turns in the coil of the galvanometers are changed, none of these. So you know, whenever we will move the coil, then that time obviously due to the movement to the galvanometer, because galvanometer is what in there we are using magnetic magnets. So it means magnetic field is present, and due to the movement of coil, the magnetic field lines that is passing through the coil, that will change, flux will change, and induced EMF will produce, and due to the resistance of coil, induced current will be produced. And this is the reason due to which the galvanometer detects that current, and that is deflected now. Now the next question, the polarity of induced EMF is given by first Ampere's circuital law, second is Biot-Savart law, third is Lenz law, and fourth one is Fleming's right hand rule. So you know, the polarity of induced EMF means now we are talking for the direction of induced EMF, and you know that is given by the Lenz law. Now the next one, the self-inductance of a coil is a measure of first electrical inertia, second electrical friction, third induced EMF, and fourth is induced current. This is very nice question. The self-inductance of the coil, first self-inductance is what? It is the property of coil through which it starts to oppose any kind of production of induced EMF in that coil. So it is be having just like the mass of the body which is opposing any kind of change in its state. So it means that the self-inductance is related to the mass, and just like mass is related to inertia, here self-inductance is related to electrical inertia. Now next question, the coils in resistance boxes are made from double insulated wires to nullify the effect of. So here in the resistance box, the coils that is doubly insulated. So why we are insulating doubly them? We are trying to nullify the effect of self-induced EMF, because whenever the coils are there and current is flowing through this, then due to self-inductance property, there will be change in the magnetic flux, and there will be the production of induced EMF. So to change this self-induced EMF, we are just coiling that or we are covering that by doubly insulating wires. Next question, two pure inductors each of self-inductance L are connected in series. What will be the net inductance now? So as you know, in series, whenever we are connecting the self-inductance, then their equivalent inductance or net inductance is given by L is equal to L1 plus L2, and each has inductance that is L now, so the net inductance will be now 2L. Next question, Lenz law is a consequence of laws of conservation of. So you know, the Lenz law is conservation of energy. So just now in yesterday class I have told you this one again. Next question, a magnet is moved towards a coil first quickly and then slowly. So question is, magnet is moved towards a coil quickly, slowly. Then the induced EMF is, options are larger in case first, means whenever we are moving it quickly. Second is a smaller in case first. Third is equal to both the cases. And third, last one is larger or smaller depending on the radius of the coil. So as you know, whenever we are moving the coil quickly, then that time it means we are providing it a speed. So if the speed of the magnet that is increasing, and due to increase in speed, the magnetic, you can say, the change in flux, that will also increase, and due to the increase in change of flux, the induced EMF produced that time, that will increase. While we are moving it slowly, then that time the speed is less, and due to less speed the change in flux is less and induced EMF is less that time. So it means our first option will be correct. The induced EMF is larger in case first now. Now the next one, let's see. The laws of electromagnetic induction have been used in the construction of options are given: galvanometer, voltmeter, electric motors and generators. So as you know, galvanometer is based on the principle of the torque produced whenever we are putting any of the coil in magnetic field. So that is not the use of electromagnetic induction. Second one, voltmeter. So you know, voltmeter is used to measure voltage, so that there also we need not the electromagnetic induction, only we need the voltage or EMF. Third one, electric motor. So electric motor, you know, that has worked to convert the electric energy into mechanical energy. So as we are using electric energy here, so we don't need again the law of electromagnetic induction here. But the fourth one, generator, you will see the AC generator, you know, that is depending on the principle of law of electromagnetic induction, because it produces electric energy through the mechanical energy. So in production of electric energy, we are using the concept of the rotation of coil through the mechanical work, and due to rotation theta is changing, orientation is changing, and due to that flux is changing and induced EMF is produced. So our fourth option is correct now. Now in the next one, two coils are placed close to each other. The mutual inductance of pair of coils depends on. So here options are given: the rate at which the current are changing in two coils. Second, relative position and orientation of two coils. Third one, the material of wires of the coils. And fourth, the currents in the two coils. So as you know, the mutual inductance of the pair of coils, that is always depending on relative position and orientation of two coils, means in which position or orientation the two coils you have kept. So if the two coils is kept in this way, like the angle between them is 0, then that time the maximum mutual inductance we are obtaining. And whenever it is at this way, suppose one coil is perpendicular to the second one, then that mutual effect becomes 0 that time. So this, it means that the relative position means how at how much distance we are keeping them, and what is the orientation on which it is depending. The next question, two identical coaxial circular loops carries a current I, each circulating in the same direction. So if the loops approach each other, you will observe that the current in. So here options are given: each increases, each decreases, each remain the same, and one increases, whereas that in the other decreases. So if it is given now two identical coils that that are in the form of circular loops that are carrying current, and we are just to started to bring them closer to each other. So if we will start to bring them closer, then that time the magnetic field lines passing through both of the coils, that will change, and due to the change in magnetic field, obviously flux will change, flux will increase, because field will increase and there will be the increase in flux, and due to the increase in flux here the mutual inductance or the current, you will see that will also increase. So here and also one more thing, it is increasing in both of the cases, not only one cases, because for both of them the flux will increase there. Next question, when current in a coil changes from 5 ampere to 2 ampere in 0.1 second, average voltage of 50 volt is produced, the self inductance of the coil. So you know the self inductance is related with the EMF, that is by the formula E is equal to minus L di by dt. Here minus sign I am not writing, that is denoting only the direction, but that is given by Lenz's law. Now we have to find out the value of self inductance for this case. So this will be E upon di by dt. So E has value now 50 volt. The change in current, that is given 5 ampere to 2 ampere, means di will be now 5 minus 2, then upon dt, the change in time, it is given 0.1 second. So if you will solve it, then we can find out the value of now self inductance. So it is now 50 and this is 3 upon 0.1. So you can write it now 30 here, and this is now 5 by 3, or it is 1.67 now. So this is the answer of our question. This will be now 1.67 Henry. Now the next concept here, the self-inductance associated with the coil is independent of. First one, again I think this question we have just seen. First question is here now, and current, first option is current, second is induced voltage, time, and then resistance of a coil. So you know the self-inductance property, that is not depending on the resistance of the coil, because all other factors, just now I have written the formula, and according to that L is depending on current, voltage and time. On these three factors it is depending on, but it is not depending on the resistance. Now let's see the next one here. So next question is, the north pole of a long bar magnet was pushed slowly into the short solenoid connected to a short galvanometer. So the magnet was held stationary for a few seconds with the north pole in the middle of the solenoid and then withdrawn rapidly. So the maximum deflection of the galvanometer was observed when the magnet was, first option is given, moving towards the solenoid, second moving into the solenoid, third is at rest inside the solenoid, and moving out of the solenoid. So as here in this case you will see, we are using the north pole of the bar magnet, that is now pushed slowly towards the any of the solenoid. So as for few seconds the north pole that is kept to the middle point. So at the middle point you know the magnetic field is 0, but suddenly means whenever we are just putting that to the middle point, and that time there is not very great change in flux, but whenever we are taking it out suddenly, so due to taking it outward, as the field will change suddenly, and due to the change in field there will be change in flux, and due to change in flux there will be the production of induced EMF. So that production of induced EMF will be on in both time, whenever we are just putting it near the solenoid or we are taking it out, but in the outward case it will be greater than the inward case. So next question is now, the current flows from A to B is as shown in figure. So there is a figure that is given, this is a wire, this is point A, this is point B, A to B the current is flowing now. So the direction of induced current in the loop. So a loop is now kept near the wire. So as you know, whenever the current will flow, it will produce magnetic field in surrounding of this, and due to the production of magnetic field in this coil the flux will change. Means whenever current will starts to flow from here, so still in primary condition there is no field, there is no flux, but whenever current will pass near to this one, then this will induce a flux inside this one, and due to the change in flux there will be the production of induced EMF. So the direction of induced EMF here we have to find out, and you know that direction is given by Lenz's law. So according to Lenz's law, always the direction is opposite to the cause of the change in flux. So there is a cause of change in flux is current that is flowing in this direction. To oppose this current, the induced current will start to flow in opposite direction of this current. So in this way you can understand it easily. So this is the direction of current, and you can see now this is clockwise direction. Next question is, in a coil of self-induction 5 Henry, the rate of change of current is 2 ampere per second. So the induced EMF of the coil will be, so as just now I have written the formula, again we have to use this one. This is E is equal to minus L di by dt, minus sign I have just not written it. So for the magnitude let's write it. So next one here, with the sign letter I can write it. So before that one, first let's find out this one. So as L has value now 5 Henry, and the rate of change of current means this is the rate of change of current that is given 2 here. So it means this is now 10. But when you will see the direction also, this will be now minus 10 volt. So in magnitude it is 10 volt, but with the direction it is minus 10 volt now. So this is now answer of our question, and that is will be now minus 10. Now after this question, let's see now the next question. So next question we have, that is the magnetic flux linked with the coil of n turns of area of cross section A held with its plane parallel to the field B. So here in this question it is given if we have a coil that is held parallel to the field. So if it is suppose this is the direction of the field, and that time this is also the direction of or any of the coil. So in this direction the coil is kept, means the direction of field and coil both are same. So this is direction of magnetic field, this is not a coil is kept. So then you know that the area vector is in the perpendicular to the direction of coil. If this is now coil, so this will be the direction of area vector. So here the direction of area vector will be along in perpendicular direction to this one. So if the orientation of coil with respect to B, it will be theta now, that is 90 degree in this case. So as you know, phi is equal to B dot A. So B dot A, you will solve, this is BA cos theta, and cos 90, this will be 0. So change in flux in this case, as that will be now 0. So due to 0 change in flux here, our option that will be 0 now. So we have to find out what will be the change in flux. So change in flux will be 0. Next question, let's see. Two identical coaxial coils P and Q carrying equal amount of current in the same direction are brought nearer. So the current in first current in P increases while in Q decreases. Second option, Q increases while in P decreases. Third, in both P and Q increases, in both P and Q decreases. So here 4 options are given to us. So here question we have two identical coils that are carrying equal amount of current in the same directions. We are just starting to just bring them nearer to each other. So whenever we will bring them near to each other, then that time the induced EMF that will be generated due to change in magnetic field, because whenever I current is flowing, this coil will produce magnetic field, this coil will produce magnetic field. If they held stationary, then the production of magnetic flux that will be, or you can say phi is constant till that time. But when we start to bring them nearer, then that time the phi will change due to the field induced on each other, that will change. So it means due to change in field and induced EMF that will start to produce due to this coil in this one and due to this coil in this one, and that induced current also due to induced EMF, as some of the resistance in this coil, the current will be produced, and that current will have direction given by the Lenz law. So according to Lenz law, in opposite direction a current will be induced here, and that is now suppose induced current IE. So in this again induced current IE will be generated, and this induced current has tendency to reduce this current. So obviously in both of the coil P and Q, the current will reduce now, that current will decrease. Next question here. Faraday's laws are consequence of the conservation of first charge, energy, magnetic field, both P and C. So as you know, Faraday law is conservation of only energy because it is given by the Lenz law, that is second law of Faraday. Third, next concept, the direction of current induced in a wire moving in a magnetic field is found using first one, Fleming's right hand rule, second option, Fleming's left hand rule, third is Ampere's rule, and fourth one is right hand clamp rule. So here in this case, you know, we are using Fleming's right hand rule to find out the direction of current that is used in any wire, so that you have studied in your classes already. Next question here. Question is now, which of the following does not use the application of eddy currents? So eddy currents, you know, that is generated via the number of coilings. So here first one is electric power meters, second is induction furnace, third is LED lights, and fourth one is magnetic brakes in trains. So here, as you know, in application of eddy currents, we are using it in electric power meters, we are coiling there, we are using it in induction furnace, we are using in magnetic brakes, but we are not using in LEDs. LEDs are not based on this concept. So here, this is whole number, you can say near about today. We have discussed 20 to 25 questions, and that will help you a lot in your RTs, I think. So let's end our class here with this question. So thank you students for